Hey guys, it's Zarafia. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a little peek at the new Season 1 patch notes. I haven't actually looked at these. I've seen the kind of, spoiler leaks or whatever on Twitter and wherever else, but this is the first time I'm seeing them, so let's dive in and see what they've got cooking for us. Alright, I'm actually really excited to take a look at these changes, as if you followed along, and I'll link it later on in the video, but I did a tier list for the end of Season 0, and kind of shared my thoughts on how I like the state of the game, and how there's really only a couple of problem characters. I think they've done a really good job balancing the game, because really there's like 2 or 3 that are lacking, and 2 or 3 that seem a little overpowered, but really you can still counter them and deal with them. So I'm pretty happy with how they've started out. So I'll hope to see that continue going forward, and something kind of I see here immediately. So it says, first half of Season 1, you're set to make balanced adjustments to certain heroes, enabling a broader roster to partake in more intricate gameplay, ensuring a richer, more engaging, and diverse gaming experience for all. So it looks like they're going to give us a break. We don't have to entirely reacclimate and like relearn our characters. I'm kind of glad that I decided to do my Season 0 tier list instead of a prediction, because I was definitely going to do a prediction based on removing those bonuses, and those bonuses will still be there, so it's entirely relevant. Alright, let's check out the patch notes. That's what you're here for. Sorry for blabbing. Let's get into it. Okay, they're going to be tiered by the type. So we'll start with Vanguard. That's my role, so we're going to get right into my my pros and cons of the tier list immediately, or not the tier list, the season, excuse me, patch. So Captain America, Steve will receive some enhanced survivability, allowing more frequent entering and exiting out of combat. He was already really good at that. I've been playing Cap more recently, and I didn't dislike him. I bumped him up to B tier. I think he's still probably there. I think these could push him up a little bit. But let's see. We've got reduced Liberty Rush cooldown from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. That's pretty solid. We love lower cooldowns, especially on a tank that likes to get in and out, and it gives him a chance to do so. He's got base health from 650 to 675, reduced energy cost for releasing Freedom Charge from 3400 to 3100, so about a 10% drop in his ult cost, reduce the additional health provided per second to self after releasing it from 110 to 100. So they actually think, interesting. Okay, so his ult got nerfed, but you can use it more often. I don't hate that. I think his ult was good, at least like for his own benefit. I think it could use a little bit more of like a team bonus personally, but it definitely keeps him alive, and that's what matters. More health is good. Cooldown's good. Release the delay time for shield restoration after releasing Living Legend from 3 to 2. That's really, really good, because that was the biggest beef I had with him, is that you could only pop his shield up every 3 seconds, very similar to Magneto, even if you didn't use all of its HP. So yeah, 2 seconds is the delay. Gives you a lot more opportunity for counterplay and like blocking ults, things of that nature. Cap, I think, will get bumped up a little bit. He didn't get any damage buffs, which I think is fine. I think he does enough damage, especially with Thor, for what he does. He's a good disruption tank, in my opinion. Doctor Strange will be reducing the threat range and increasing the defense window of the Sorcerer Supreme. Okay. Add damage fall off to Maelstrom of Madness and Gamma Maelstrom, starting at 5 meters. Okay, so you really got to be on top of them to do that max damage. That's fine. I think it had a pretty big bubble. And it's really used for when people dive on you anyway. So you can be a little less offensive about it. Decrease shield value recovery rate after releasing shield from 80 seconds to 70. Oh no, 80 from 270 a second. Increasing the defense window. Decrease shield value recovery rate after releasing. That may be like a mistranslation there, because it definitely seems that's an all-out nerf on Strange. So less shield a second and less damage from afar. Thor's getting buffs. Oh boy. Increased base health from 500 to 525. That's awesome. I'll take anything I can get. Add immunity to control effects during God of Thunder, ultimate ability. Ooh, okay, so he can't be stunned out of his ult. That's really cool. All right, I'll take a little Thor buff. I'm a Thor main. We're happy with that. Hulk. Banner has been dominant, but some decreased sustained combat capability upon entering the battlefield will bring him more in line with other Vanguards. Reduce the indestructible guard gamma shield value for Hero Hulk from 250 to 200. Okay, I don't think that's going to change a lot. It's just 50 health off of his shield. That's fine. Interesting to see that he was dominant. I know higher level play has definitely seen some really good Hulk play. I don't know. Like I barely reached like mid diamond, so I can't really talk for Grandmaster Eternal play. But with what I was watching, like Hulk was fine. So I think this is a fair nerf. Venom, with increased survivability and the threat of his ultimate ability, the symbiote menace will strike fear into the backlines of all enemy teams. Okay, so... Oh my god, he got a 20% buff on his shield. That's hilarious. From 1 to 1.2. Increased base damage if he's the Abyss from 40 to 50. Okay, so like, slight damage buff on his ult. 10 points is kind of negligible, but it is nice to have a higher base. Be a little more likely to actually one-tap a squishy or something from a certain health pool. I will say that I don't know. That's like the one thing he didn't have a problem with, though, is his bonus health. If anything, I would have given him, like, a little more, like, lower cooldown on his web swing or something. But, you know, that's fine. Keeping him alive is the best thing for a tank. Black Panther, decreasing combat survivability, reduce additional health provided to self after refreshing vibranium marks with Spirit Rend from 40 to 30, and upper limit of additional health provided from 120 to 75. Wow. Okay, so he's getting 10 less health per refresh, which is, not the biggest thing, but he can't have 120 bonus health anymore. He only gets 75. So he's going to be a lot less safe because you're going to be missing about 45 health there at the top of your health pool. That's fine. I think he's good. I think he should keep his damage. I didn't want to see damage nerfs on him because that's what he does. But being a little less safe is a good way to kind of nerf an assassin. Ooh, Black Widow. Okay, I was actually looking forward to this. Very much in need of optimization when evaluating the release experience of her abilities, as well as a slight increase to the threat of her ultimate. Okay, cool. Increase the range of the first effect of Edge Dancer from a 3-meter radius to a 5-meter radius. And, okay. Reduce the time required for Fleetfoot to recover from 0 stamina to full from 12 seconds to 4. Thank God. Okay, this was something I really had a problem with because, like, Captain America, right, effectively has the same sprint jump thing that Black Widow has, and he just gets to do it all the time, no cooldown, no stamina. And then Black Widow has this, like, kind of small stamina pool, and then she can't jump unless you have a certain amount of stamina left on it. So she was really struggling to actually escape. Which I know her intention was to be able to escape, knock people back, kind of like Hawkeye does. And it was just not happening. Reduce the time required for electroplasma explosion to reach maximum power from 1 second to 0.6. That's nice. I don't think that's really going to help her that much. I think Edge Dancer having a 5-meter radius will be definitely nice to kind of help her when she gets dove. But I don't know. I don't think this is going to bump Black Widow up all that much. I think it's definitely helpful for her maneuverability. If you're really good at sniping, like, she still does some good damage if you hit those headshots. Definitely a console player issue, But I don't really see her doing a whole lot better with this. I don't think this is going to be quite enough for her to reach above the bottom tier. Decrease the medium long range damage capability, reduce the threatening combat radius, and slightly improving the close combat resistance. Oh, improving? Okay. Slightly reduce spread angle between every 2 blast arrows. That's interesting. Reduce triggering distance of passive abilities Archer Focus from 60 meters to 40 meters. Reduce the maximum additional damage of the passive from 80 to 70. Okay, so you're going to... That's a little decrease. That's fine. You'll be seeing a little bit of, like, Hawkeye would be 2-shotting some tanks, and now he'll 3-shot tanks, which, that's significant. That's an entire extra arrow they have to hit. Hela just getting a slight health decrease. Okay, that's, that's fine. Magic, increasing Umbral Incursion damage. Oh, so Darkchild form got a buff. That's a pretty small thing, but, I mean, hey, an extra 20 damage. Which I will say, because of how Darkchild is so slow compared to normal magic, I get a lot more kills in normal magic form just because she's not so cumbersome. So I'm happy with the extra damage because that trade-off for the speed is big. Moon Knight. Hand of Khonshu will receive a slight increase to the threat of his... Moon Knight's just getting an ult buff? Okay. Increase the number of talons generated from 10 to 14. And increase the radius by an entire meter. Wow. Okay. I thought Moon Knight was pretty strong. Maybe I was wrong. Namor adjust the throwing feel of monster spawn and frozen spawn. He can more accurately throw them. That's nice. Yeah, they were kind of wonky. Excuse me. They were a little weird to place, it felt like sometimes. So yeah, like more accurate placement for his turrets is nice. Psylocke, rewarding more options for other heroes to counter the ultimate. Now the Dance of the Butterfly will check for barriers, including Bulwark. Check for barriers. So, like, what do you mean? Like, it'll attack barriers first? Or it will... Or, like, ignore barriers? Because if it'll ignore barriers, that would be interesting. I'm going to need some more information on that. If anybody has info on the Psylocke ult change, let me know, because I don't know. Checking for barriers doesn't really explain it to me. Slightly increasing the damage of Frank's weapons. What? Oh, it's the reducing spread of deliverance and education. That's crazy. Okay. I mean, I know Punisher's pretty easily, dealt with, but less spread, man, that's nice. Wanda is getting a buff. Combat strength when she's facing Duelist or Strategist. Increased Chaos Control's fixed damage from 50 to 60. That's crazy. 60 a second? Okay. Oh, no, that's her orb, though. That's not the biggest thing. Okay. Increase burst projectile damage 30 to 35. That's really nice. Hitting that, those headshots on that is actually pretty good. Reduce percentage damage per second from 5% to 3%. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's because she was doing too much damage to tanks. So, yeah, the reduce the percentage damage is down to 3. But they upped the fixed damage, so the base damage will hit, like, Duelist and Strategist harder. Interesting. Okay. That's probably fine, because though the Strategist and some of the things that are taking her out. Storm, I really am looking forward to these. The Weather Witch needed an overall increase to her damage capability. Absolutely. Well, I don't know. Damage was okay. But optimizing the feel for left-click projectile, yes! Yes! Okay, so again, in my tier list, watch my tier list, that's where we'll plug it. I talked about this. So it's like, I felt like she just needed a little bit of optimization. She didn't need a kit change, didn't really need damage, necessarily, but like, it's welcome. Yes, they did. Okay, projectile speed from 100 meters a second to 150. That's fantastic. 50% faster on her projectile. That's going to make a world of difference for her. Left click damage from 50 to 55. Cool. Yeah. Bolt rush damage from 70 to 80. Cool. Bolt rush did pretty good damage, so that's pretty welcome, especially if you can chain it. After releasing Omega Hurricane, bonus health provided for her is increased from 350 to 450. I really didn't ever see her die using her ultimate. But that's cool. It makes it safer. Following its conclusion, extra health will no longer vanish, but will instead diminish. So she also, after the ult, will keep. So that's what I did see. I saw her die right after her ultimate. So keeping the 100 per second, or keeping the bonus health and diminishing it 100 per second, that gives her an additional like 4 seconds of health. That's really, really solid. Okay, so Squirrel Girl. We're increasing the threat of Doreen and her furry friends and their ultimate ability. Ooh. So this is funny. Last night, when I was, the day of recording this, last night, I was doing some achievement hunting and got the triple kill with her ult. Addition of a new effect. The squirrels will rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of bouncing random. Reduce the squirrel health from 600. Ooh. Okay, so the health reduction may... I don't know, because I was pretty capable of clearing out her ult, because obviously, it wasn't that much of a threat when it's bouncing. It's actually going to rush an enemy, though. That is very interesting and kind of terrifying. I think Squirrel Girl is going to be scary now, like a horror movie scary. Okay, cool. I mean, that definitely helps her, because I feel like her kit's pretty good, other than her ult being kind of, unreliable. Cool. Winter Soldier. I'm interested to see what happens here. We'll be adjusting Bucky by decreasing his long-range combat strength and increasing his survivability. Okay, cool. So this, if you've played Overwatch, Cassidy, they do this to him all the time. They make him this, like, oh, his drop-off's too far, so he's, like, becoming a sniper with a revolver, basically. And so they keep, like, nerfing his drop-off damage. And so he's not good from afar, and they keep trying to make him this, like, medium close-range guy, so you can kind of snipe, but you're still not real that far. But you can, like, fan the hammer and roll and have the stun or, whatever. So, interesting. Increase the bonus health provided by hook from 30 to 40. Oh, and voltage. Okay, so he's getting more bonus health. So he's going to be harder to kill. Rotor Stone's projectile damage from 70 to 75. So he is getting more base damage on his gun, reducing the area damage and reducing damage decay. I don't really understand how this is. Wait, reduce area damage from 70 to 65, reduce damage decay. So he's going to do more damage at 40 meters, 5%, but he's still going to do a little more damage. So this reads weird, because this tells me that he's going to do 5% more damage at that 40 meter drop off, and he's got more projectile damage. So any physical hits will do more damage than they did even at 40 meters. I don't know what they mean by this. His splash damage is smaller, so there's that. But, and increases base health. So yeah, he's going to be a little bulkier. Kind of not quite like Wolverine, Mr. Fantastic bulky, but he's going to be there. That's cool. Wolverine. Logan will receive an increase to basic combat strength, but a slight decrease to the additional survivability after activating Undying Animal. So they're giving him 350 health, reducing his reduction ratio provided to 40%. So they're going to do 10% more damage to you when you pop your reduction, but you have 50%, or sorry, not 50%, about 15% more base health with 50 extra base health. So if you have a healer with you, that's great. If you're relying on your own survivability, it depends on what's going on, because like that 10% damage reduction when like a big ult hits you or something, that could be life or death, even with 50 extra health. Okay. Down to the Strategist. I'm excited about this Wolverine change, though. I think him being at 350, Reed's also 350, so they're going to be, like, off-tank bulky. That's really nice. Cloak and Dagger. Ty and Tandy will receive an increase to their healing capability. Ty and Tandy will receive an increase to their healing capability, as well as an expansion to the coverage area of their ultimate. Okay, I'll admit their ult wasn't as good as Luna's and Mantis, but they're getting an additional dash from 3 to 4, and then their Dagger Storm cooldown is down to 12 instead of 15 seconds. So the big orb that heals really well, actually, is going to be on a 12-second cooldown, which I think is reasonable. I think that was too high of a cooldown. Okay, so they didn't actually buff their numbers. It's just this cooldown, so you'll have that orb more often. That's fine. I was a little concerned. It's like, you're not going to, like, boost their output, right? Because that's crazy. This, though, increased the number of dashes in Eternal Bond from 3 to 4. That's huge, especially because if you don't know, now you do, that stacks. So anything here that is from 3 to 4, you can now stack that 4 times. That healing is going to be as strong or stronger than like Luna Snow and Mantis' ult if you stack those. You can even do just 2 stacks, You can have a little V shape and do 2 stacks. That seems really strong. Okay, so Cloak and Dagger, buffed. I didn't really think they needed that, but that's cool. Jeff Landshark. Is it an ultimate change? We'll be adjusting the range for his ultimate. Yep. It now better fits the warning marker. Thank you. We'll also be increasing his healing capability. Okay, cool. See, that's super welcome because Jeff was not a good healer. He was probably the worst healer. And his ult was weird, and that's everybody's complaint was his ult. So adjusting from 10-meter sphere to a 10-meter radius. Okay. And then a 5-meter high cylindrical spell field. So it actually is going to have an animation match to 5 meters high, which is cool. It's still pretty high, but you won't get like your Iron Mans and stuff at the top of the skybox. And increases his Joyful Splash from 140 to 150. 10 more a second, that's something. I didn't think he needed a ton, but anything helps. I think that's going to help him kind of keep in line with the meta. While I've enjoyed her dropping the base, you made adjustments to Luna's ultimate ability. Thank you. Increase the interval for switching between healing and damage from 0.1 seconds to 0.5 seconds. Yes. Bravo. Bravo. That's a good change right there. Because, yeah, people were especially... Because you can do it on console, but on PC, you could apply her switching to your scroll wheel and just rapidly, change between healing and damage. So, effectively, she didn't have to make a choice. She was just healing and damaging the whole time. That's good. That's a good little change there. I don't know, I think that's fine. Like, I don't really think she needed a nerf. Like, she's really strong, but she can still be taken out, Oh, no, dude. Oh, come on. We'll be making Mantis a bit less fleet-footed, reducing her roaming support capability. Reduces nature's favor from 2.5 to 1.5 meters a second. Okay, so actually, that's like the worst nerf they give Mantis. Like, her healing's good. Her damage boost is good. Her damage is good. Her movement speed is that is her bread and butter. Being able to like get back, being able to run around when she's full health, like that's a pretty significant nerf too. That's like, wow, yeah, they nerfed that by like 40%. Okay, I'll be interested to see how that is. Rocket Raccoon, everybody, could use it to enhance his healing capability. 60 per to 70 per on his repair mode. That's fantastic. That is actually really good. I think Rocket may see a lot more play now. Like, that's actually huge buff there. Awesome. Yeah, okay. I actually have a buddy of mine that plays Rocket almost, religiously. So that's great. That's really cool. I think that's all Rocket needed. He does okay damage when he's needed to do damage, and then his ult's good. His repair kits are good. Res is good. So, yeah, his mobility's good. I think Rocket's going to see an uptick in use now, because I think that's going to give him enough healing. Okay, team up abilities. Here we go. So, if he's going to be the season differences, yeah. So, they're going to keep the season bonuses. They are tweaking a couple. So, we're going to see Hawkeye and Hela both nerfed by 5% damage. So that's what that's why we weren't seeing anything in the patches earlier. They're getting a 5% damage nerf as well. Cool. I think that's fair. I think that's fine. I think that 5% and that drop-off difference, things like that, are going to make it to where it takes an extra headshot, it takes an extra body shot, and that'll make the difference in, they're still going to be able to just delete your healers, so keep that in mind. Don't just ignore them because they got a little damage nerf, But that's good. I think that's a good little change to kind of bring them in line. Like I said, I don't think they were crazy overpowered. Hawkeye was the one that was bordering that. But I think that's good. Luna Snow Namor, increasing the threat of Namor's frozen spawn. That's kind of interesting because Luna's meta, and she's still going to stay meta with those changes. She didn't get any really buff or nerfs at all, especially to her healing. And Namor has been seeing an uptick, especially in higher elo play. So this is cool. Their team is going to be stronger. He's going to do more damage, slow, harder. And then Berserk State damage from 16 to 18. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, cool. It's not tremendous, but, an extra 5% slow, extra damage. That's solid. Rocket, Punisher, Winter Soldier. Oh, ammo invention is going to be available more often. Okay, so yeah, if you're going to see Rocket more often. 100%. I'm calling that now. Rocket's going to be a lot more useful. Just because Punisher and Winter Soldier are both very good picks. They have a lot of flexibility. So, yeah, them having an infinite ammo more often is definitely good. Scarlet Witch, Magneto, a bit underwhelming. Oh, okay, so they're buffing this back up. Because this got nerfed in Season 0. And so now we're going to see an uptick in the spell field damage and projectile damage for Metallic Fusion. That's cool. Awesome. And Thor, Storm, Captain America, enhancing damage capability. Yes. Okay, cool. So yeah, Storm's getting another buff. Thor, Storm, Captain America will be enhancing the damage capability of Storm's side of his team ability. I would love to see Cap also get a little buff on that, but I think they're going to kind of see if his survivability buffs make the difference for him. Because he does enough damage, he can just stand there and punch somebody. So that's okay. That's cool. Reduce cooldown of the Gale from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. So they get that extra lightning bolt 5 seconds sooner. That's very, very significant for a team up. That's basically another ability. Like, that's, because like Rockets here is 40 seconds. That's 15 seconds. If it was like 10 or something, it'd be crazy, crazy strong. It's like a necessary, oh, you're playing Storm? I'm playing Thor. Which is great. My wife mains Storm, and I main Thor. Perfect. And increases the damage of it from 50 to 55. So yeah, you can little double lightning bolt. They both got buff. They both got better cooldown. So yeah, that's really strong. Storm is going to be seeing a lot more play, I feel like. Very cool. I'm actually a really big fan of these changes. I think that you're going to see a little bit of difference. I think like Storm, Rocket, who else? Wolverine definitely with the extra health. I think Winter Soldier is actually going to see more play with the extra bonus health and the increased base health. Squirrel Girl's ult's going to be a lot better. I still don't understand that Psylocke thing. Moon Knight got buffed, so you're going to see plenty more Moon Knight. You've already seen a lot of Moon Knight. And I don't think you're really going to see any less Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye's still going to be plenty strong. I think Hela's still going to be plenty strong. You'll probably see more Scarlet Witch, because she'll feel better against Duelist and Strategist, especially with Sue Storm. I think she's going to be really, really good for Scarlet Witch being viable between her invisibility and her ult and that front-facing shield. I think if you compare Sue with Scarlet and Magneto, I think Scarlet Witch is going to be a free ultimate now, pretty much. So, yeah, we're going to see a little bit of change. I don't think there's anything massive. Let me know what you think about the changes down below in the comments, and subscribe for more. I will see you on the next one.